What's up, everybody? It's Lawrence again. So today we're here to review one of the coolest shoes I've seen in a long time from Adidas. Let's kind of get into the history of the shoe and kind of really what it's about. So this is the Adizero Prime, the Adizero Prime Parley edition. And Parley is this company that basically makes these yarns out of recycled materials from the ocean. So these plastics and things that they find in the ocean, they're basically taking that and creating a textile from it. I believe the partnership started around 2 to 3 years ago, maybe 2.5 years. I remember the first kind of uncaged Ultra Boosts were Parleys, and those were really hard to get. And now you can actually basically walk into a store and buy a lot of the Parley-based collabs. Alright, so on top of that, if you do own another pair of these Parley collabs, would love to know your comments about what you think about the Ultra Boost or any other previous versions that have released with Adidas. Leave a comment in the section below. Here it is, the Adizero Prime X Parley. So let's get started with the upper. So the upper is made out of a Primeknit, and like I said earlier, this Primeknit is made out of recycled plastic. So the first thing you're going to notice on the medial side is that it's done in a teal/dark green base color. It also looks a bit grayish. It's really hard to tell whether or not it's green or gray, but it's definitely along that color line hue in neutral tones. Finally, towards the back of the heel over here, the Primeknit is a little more white. It has little pops of much more bright teal color, and it's also the same thing on the medial side closer to the toe box. Lots of breathability along the upper, so there's 3 stripes done in teal here, but along the toe box you're going to see perforations, and along the side of the shoe over here there's perforations, and then over here. So extremely breathable shoe, extremely comfortable to actually put on in terms of breathability. The knit itself also feels a little less dense, and so that should help with the breathability as well, making this, in my opinion, a much more better spring and summer shoe. And then on the back of the shoe, you're going to see the Parley and Adidas logo done in white with a white pull tab over here. The pull tab, I'd say, is a little small. You actually can't get your hand on it, so you have to squeeze into it, which I think is weird. They could have just made it a little bit longer, but they didn't. The top of the shoe is done in your typical flat lace over here. And then finally, if you can't really see it, but where the knit is in the middle over here, since it's a sock-like booty, it actually is printed that says Adizero Prime on it. Moving on to the midsole. So this is a little bit different than your typical kind of Ultra Boost sole. You're going to be able to see this plastic over here and or foam. I'm not exactly sure what it is. If you guys do know, definitely leave a comment below in terms of what this material is on the Adizero Prime. But what is different about this is that it adds a lot more stability because of this. So you're not actually sitting on Boost the same way you would do with an Ultra Boost or an NMD. Right below that is the cushion of Boost. You can see that it's much less boost than your typical Ultra Boost and even NMD over here. So it's probably, I'd say, like half the sole instead of full of the sole. And I think that's kind of important in terms of stability. One of my biggest gripes about the Ultra Boost is really the stability of the shoe, and I think this actually addresses a lot of those issues. Going on to the medial side, you're going to have your same kind of torsion system over here. That you can see, very similar to the Ultra Boost sole over there. Moving on to the bottom of the sole, you're going to have your typical Continental sole done in a white, and you can see the boost in between there. The one gripe that I do have about the sole is I really wish they used a different color. It'd be cool if they used something on the teal side or the green side, or even possibly black. I'm not a huge fan of the Continental white soles, but they just get dirty so quickly, and there's really not much you can do with it. What are my thoughts on the shoe? Very simply, I actually really love this pair. So I legitimately haven't spent that much time with it, but I'm a huge fan of really lightweight sneakers, and this gives me a lot of the stability that I was missing with an Ultra Boost, but still some of that energy return, some of that comfort, that bounce that you would expect from Boost. So I'm a huge fan of the Adizero Prime. This is a great colorway. It's obviously sustainable for 1,000 reasons because of the yarn. So I think from a comfort level perspective, this is a great shoe. Definitely recommend it. On feet, the bottom's super comfortable, so the heel-toe transition is great. In terms of sizing, I would definitely go true to size. I think normally with Primeknit and Ultra Boost, I typically go a half size up. But with these, I feel like these are just snug enough, but also good enough for true to size. I have a wide foot, and so anyone with a wide foot, I'd recommend the same. If anyone has actually tried the Ultra Boost 4.0s, I would also recommend the same size that you wear your Ultra Boost 4.0s for, because these fit very, very similarly. The knit itself isn't too tight or anything. And that's it, guys. Once again, if you enjoyed the content, definitely leave me a note below on what you think about these. Do you really like the idea that Parley and Adidas is doing something, or do you think it's a gimmick? Would really love to know your thoughts. Definitely give me, like I said, a subscribe button or a thumbs up. Until next time, peace.